Let's work on today's technique. For more information, click on the link below. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. We'll start with A, which is dark gray for me, and we're going to be working on these 4 rows back and forth for the entire panel. The first 2 rows work with A, the next 2 rows work with C, and then we flip back and forth. Okay, so the difference is on all the odd rows, we will be slipping purlwise with the yarn in the back, and the third row is slipping purlwise with the yarn in back, same thing. And then on the second and fourth row, so all the even rows, we're going to be slipping purlwise with the yarn in the front. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. The difference is when you're working with the same color, you start with the knit 3 and then slip it and knit 3 and go back and forth between slipping and knitting 3. And row 2 is the same thing, knitting 3, slipping and knitting 3, and then go back and forth between slipping and knitting 3. The difference is between these two, the purling is you're going to be holding the yarn in the back or the front. And then the third row is very similar, only it shifts it over by knitting 1 first and then doing the same thing that we did in the other one. So you're just going to continue on. And we'll go right into this. I'll refer to the directions off to the side. Be sure and get that pattern downloaded and right next to you so you can see that. Okay, and then we'll just continue going on until the end and we'll cast off together and complete this. Let's get right into it and cast on. Okay, we're going to cast on. Make sure you've got your long tail that's enough for 43 stitches. We're going to slip that on. Okay, put the tail in the front, ball at the back, and we're going to pick up from the thumb, go down to the finger, down through the thumb. You've got this. If you've been following the last couple of weeks, you've got it. If not, go back and review, or we've got some slower motion videos. Cast on 43 stitches. And pause your video and I'll see you when you've got that. We'll begin with row 1. We're ready to go on to the first row after we've cast on 43 stitches. Make sure it's not too tight, or that cast on edge is going to be a little skinnier than the rest of your work. So make sure it's nice and loose. All right, we're going to, with at color A, still the same color, knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now it's going to come where we have the repeat in our section. So we're going to go ahead and do the slipping. Okay, so we're going to slip 1 stitch purlwise with the yarn at the back, and it's already that way. Okay, so all the even rows are going to be the opposite way. So we're on an odd row, so it's going to stay in the back. It's going to be real simple. Now we're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3, and then repeat. Slip 1, knit 3. So you're going to continue slipping 1 and knitting 3 to the end of your row, and I'll meet you back for the second row. Okay, the second row, we're going to continue on with the same color and knit 3, just as we did before. This is right before the asterisk. So 1, 2, and this is 3. And now we're going to slip with the yarn in front. So slip purlwise with the yarn in front. Move that yarn to the front. Slip it purlwise. We're not actually purling. And then move the yarn to the back again. And then knit 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to repeat with the asterisk. So yarn front, slip, and then 1, 2, 3. So you've got to make sure and put that yarn to the back when you want to knit. Otherwise, you're going to start increasing stitches, and we don't want to do that. So on all the second rows, you will make sure that it's got that yarn in the front just when you're slipping, and then it goes back. So what it's doing is it's actually wrapping around this stitch here for you. Okay, so you could call it a wrap stitch, but we're not turning or anything like that. So you're just going straight across and making this wrapped. So all the ones in the back are going to be wrapped, all the ones on the wrong side. So if I flip this back over, I'll show you. I went ahead and marked my wrong side. I'm sorry, I marked my right side. So when I'm on the back, if I don't see that marker, I will know to go ahead and make the yarn come to the front. And that's one way to remember. Do I put the yarn in the front or the back? Okay, so you're going to continue moving on. Keep going with this repeat, slipping one with the yarn in front and knitting 3 all the way to the end of the row. Okay, I'll meet you back for row 3. Okay, we're on the 3rd row, and I've got my stitch marker showing me that it's a right side row. So what does that mean? It means when we hold the yarn to the back, it will stay in the back. Okay, so we've got, this is our original beginning tail, so I'm just ignoring that for now. This right here is the ball, and I'm not going to cut it. Yeah, we're not going to have any tails to weave. I'm going to show you how to weave it up the side as you go. It's going to be really easy, but this very first time that we have it, just let it lay in the back here. Grab it so that this stitch is nice and taut so that you can get your needle in there and it's not loosey-goosey. Okay, so grab the yarn, the next yarn, which is color C, and this happens to be almond, and we're going to knit 1 stitch, and that gets us up to that first asterisk section. Okay, and we're going to slip the stitch purlwise with the yarn in back because we're on the right side, and then we're going to knit 3. So we're going to knit 1, 2, and 3. And see how the slip stitch is that old color? So you're going to start see this color appearing, this patterning that we're going to have. So now we're going to slip this one purlwise and knit 3. 1, 2, 3, and you can drop off those other tails. You don't have to hold on to them anymore. Okay, and you'll see that they're just now hanging right here. Okay, we're going to ignore this one later on. It'll get woven in, and I'm going to show you how to weave this one around when we come back to the next odd row. So you're going to continue slipping 1 and knitting 3, and when we get to the end, you're going to have 2 stitches left. You're going to slip 1 and knit 1, and then that's it. You'll be done on that row, and I'll meet you back up for the 4th row. Continue on. I'll see you in a moment. We're at the end of row 3, and just going to show you how I'm slipping that, and we just knit that last stitch. So you came to the end of all your repeats and had 2 left. So this is what it should look like, and then when we flip that over, you're not seeing the stitch marker, so you know that we're going to start slipping things with the yarn in the front. Now we're on the side of the pattern where it's going to be really easy to see where this yarn gets wrapped. This is actually what makes it really simple. So we're going to knit 1 just as we did on the previous row, and then we will slip 1, purling with the yarn in the front. So you need to pull the yarn to the front, slip that stitch, and wrap it around, making it to the back. I say wrap because it makes me remember that has to be wrapped. So I wrap it and then knit the stitches that are the same color. Oops. Yeah, so we're going to knit 1, 2, 3. Okay, yarn front, slip and wrap. Okay, and then knit 1, 2, 3. Again, yarn front, we're slipping 1 purlwise, and then we're going to knit the next 3. So of course you put the yarn to the back, and that's what I'm calling it, a wrap. It's just, to me, it's easier in my head to remember that I'm wrapping it. So yarn front, slip, and then wrap, and then go again. All right, so you're going to continue on this row. It's going to start looking like this, where you see all these extra little wraps back here, and that is correct. When you look at it on the front, these will not be wrapped. So if you have something wrapped, you actually have an opportunity on the next row to fix that, and I can show you. I'll purposely mess one up here so that when we get to it, you'll be able to see how to fix it quickly. All right, I'll meet you back at the end of row 4. Okay, we're at the end of row 4. I'm going to go ahead and slip this last stitch here, wrap that yarn around, and knit. Turn our work. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.